Hi, Bill.
Hello, Mayor.
How you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine. I see my camera's not on for some reason.
Yeah. Hey,
Good.
so a while ago, I sent you that email about the homeless, where we get our money for Southeast County, and you said, yeah, it just looks like we got some money for Southeast County. Did everything look good in that? Were you okay with everything in that?
I think so. You said this a while ago. This wasn't today.
No, I sent it a while ago, and
Yeah, I thought that was okay. I mean, you know.
you do remember what we were talking about, right?
Vaguely.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. You responded to me too.
Because that's the one where with the three smaller cities get it 1 year and somebody else gets it the other 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah, it was spread over 3 years or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember the details, but I do remember the.
I'm gonna forward it to you again because I know now they're wanting us. I need to deal with it, but I want to make sure it's just. I know it is, but you can just glance at it, and you'll probably say, "Remember? Oh yeah, that's the one that we talked about." Because now they need us to respond. That here's the new and most recent email that came.
Okay. It's gonna take it a while to filter its way into my system here. It always does.
Hi, George.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Ron. Hi, Bill.
Hi there.
At the ocean today, huh? Or the lake?
Yeah, okay, I got it.
I think that's what you already responded to, but now there's the new one, so you can look at that because I need to respond by Friday.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. Send you an email. You know what was there some problem with it or something?
No, I don't think they've changed it at all. It's just that none of us responded to it in the first place.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Maureen. The next steps.
Hey, Bob. This weather's really playing Kane with my internet connection, so I'm gonna try staying logged on.
Okay.
Also, just so you know, I got the truck here because I got to be at H.C. Fowler in the morning at 20 minutes after 7, pick up some stuff. So
Sounds good.
thank you.
Could be worse. You could be trying to fill all the potholes that Tacoma's got in the last week. It's like driving through a minefield to go down anything.
Yeah, so Bill, they're wanting any comments or suggestions. So if you could just glance at that and
Okay.
let me know. And if not, I will just say we're fine with it because I think that's what you had said originally.
I think so too. So I'll go back, I'll compare it and do a quick
Okay.
duty for you, hopefully tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Hello, officer.
Hello, how are you?
Good. So we have a new face tonight. How do I pronounce your name?
It's Mancius. So Ruben
Mansira?
Mancius. The L make a Y sound.
I think I said, I don't know, Mansir. Close enough?
Mancius. It's probably hard. Yeah.
Mancius.
Yes, that's good.
Oh, I don't, okay, maybe it doesn't, does there have an S in it? Maybe it's
It does at the end, but it's just showing my part of my email on the actual little page here. So it's Mancillas.
okay, see, that's the part I can't see, so that's what I was missing.
Yeah, it shows my county email there, unfortunately, which is just part of my name.
So what did you do to get on the bad list and have to attend our meeting tonight?
Nothing really. I recently got promoted to lieutenant, so they're assigning the cities to the lieutenants. So I'll be assigned to Rainier, and another lieutenant will take over Bucota and dealing with Bucota.
Well, good. Hi, Ron. Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Just waiting for Dennis.
Hi, Bob. Couldn't get that thing to come on for a minute there.
Oh,
Didn't want to let me unmute.
That's a good thing, Ron.
Yeah, I can unmute it anytime, right? You like the mute better. Hi, Maureen. Welcome to
Hello,
your first meeting.
thank you.
one, two. Well, I see it's 7 o'clock and not sure. I thought Dennis was coming tonight, so. Make sure he's not, there he is, there we go. Okay, as long as Dennis is calling us, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Can we please stand for the flag salute? Mr. Cameron, will you lead us tonight, please?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the
Allegiance
flag
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Bill. So I'm going to take roll call. Councilmember Armbruster, Councilmember Kemp, Councilmember McVeigh, Councilmember Johnson, and Councilmember Baker are all present. City staff, Ron Gibson is present, City Attorney William Cameron, and Lieutenant Mancilas are all present. Excused is Engineer John Hinton, Planning Commissioner Jim Gibson, and Tammy Gibson. They're all Gibsons. Tammy Justice. Look for approval of agenda, please.
Move to approve the agenda?
Second.
There's a motion, a second to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passed 5-0. Thank you. Looking for approval of consent agenda.
Move approval of the consent agenda to include December 14, 2021 meeting minutes, January 11, 2022 claim vouchers 7148 through 7158 in the amount of $17,754.50, and the December 2021 payroll in the amount of $32,472.93.
Second.
There's a motion, a second to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed 5-0. Thank you, council. Who made the original motion on the approval of the agenda? Was that you, Ron?
Yes.
And then who seconded that?
I did, George.
George, okay. I didn't get that written down quick enough. Okay, we'll go to public comment. We have somebody I'm bringing in from the waiting room here.
Matt Russell.
Yeah. Matt, are you there?
I'm here.
You're there. Okay,
Thank
we're
you.
into public comment. I don't think you're here to speak at public comment. I think you're here to talk about the emergency management. Is that correct?
No, I was just gonna start trying to be at these more often, and I was just gonna let everybody know that I'm planning on doing inspections soon. So if that's part of the public comment, then I'll wait till then.
Well, we are in public comment, so that's why I wanted to see if you want to talk during public comment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I joined a little late here, but yeah, I just want to let everybody know that I'm going to be doing inspections in the city here soon, and I tried to contact as many business owners as I could to let them know beforehand. I gave them all a list of like common code violations and stuff, and gave them my phone number, my email, and I only heard back from a couple of them, and I've made contact with them, but I just wanted the city to be aware that I am going to be out and about, and contacting all the businesses and making sure their fire extinguishers are good to go. So
For council that are not aware, Matt is the fire inspector, so he's talking about doing our yearly inspections with the local businesses. Am I correct on that, Matt?
yes, sir, that's correct. Sorry, I didn't identify myself there. Yeah, I'm with the Southeast Thurston Fire Authority, and I'm doing the fire inspections. I've worked on the fire engine here in Rainier for about, I don't know, ever since it's been staffed here. And before that, I worked at the Elm one mostly. And so I just am kind of switching into this role because I know that we needed one. And so I'm going to be doing the fire inspections. They are free to businesses. We're not charging for inspections. That's not our goal. Our goal is just to try to make sure people are being safe, and that I expect to find issues because I know that we haven't done them for a few years. So it's not a big deal. I'm happy to work with the businesses as much as I can just to assist them in getting everything they need to make sure we all are as safe as we can be from fire.
Does anybody have any questions? I know we're doing this under public comment, but this is a little bit different. It's more informational. And he's doing that for the city. So does anybody have any questions for Matt? Okay, Well, thank you, Matt, and I know Tammy had let me know you were gonna be joining us here tonight, so we'll look forward to hearing how the inspections go when you get into our businesses.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, we'll now go on to the staff reports. So Ron Gibson, do you have anything?
Actually, I submitted a written report that you should have. And the only thing that I do not have on there is the little caterpillar bug thing down at Tammy's little playground got snapped off. We have to order some pieces. So if some people notice that it's gone, it is, we have it. We just need to get repair parts and then we're gonna get it fixed and get it back up. Other than that, unless there's questions asked, as you can see, we've been real busy.
Okay, any questions for Ron? Mr. Cameron, you have anything?
No, not really.
Okay. Lieutenant Mancilas.
Yes, sir.
You got anything to report tonight?
No, I think that the stats for December were attached, so everybody can look at those and kind of see the differences between December and November. But I wanted to introduce myself, and this is obviously the first meeting that I've attended. Hopefully, in the future here, we'll be able to meet in person at the next meetings or when we get to move forward. Just want to let everybody be aware that the sheriff's office is really getting hit hard by COVID exposures right now. So we have quite a few of our staff that are out just on COVID quarantines. And so we've kind of been doing our part by trying to stay separated, as far as training and things like that. But a lot of mandatory stuff we have to do. But so you'll see probably a little bit fewer patrol cars running around in the county, not necessarily Rainier in specific, but that is something that we're getting hit pretty hard with right now, and a lot of overtime being generated to meet our minimum staffing. So just something to be aware of, that we're dealing with that right now and rolling with that.
Any questions for Lieutenant? Okay, thank you, Lieutenant. Well, we'll go around the table here. Dennis?
I have no report because of the New Year's holidays. TRPC did not meet. It's meeting this Friday. So I'll have a report at our next meeting.
Any questions for Dennis? Thank you, Dennis. Ron?
Nothing to report, just tomorrow for Transportation Policy Board, first meeting of the year, so next meeting.
Okay. Any questions for Ron? Thank you, Ron. Tom?
The only thing I have is that due to the virus and some other things that have been going on in the last 4, 5, 6 months, as far as our emergency broadcasting radio checks for with Matt and with the town and Public Works, the school, that's kind of fell by the wayside. I found myself, I have a lot more time now than I had up to that. So I'm going to be reestablishing our emergency preparedness and broadcasting part for the city. So don't be surprised if I get a hold of all of you. I'll let you know when we're going to have a meeting and we'll get things scheduled out. I'll get with Beth and Tammy on that also, and you also, Ron, and we'll get from there. And that's about all I got.
Okay, any questions for Tom. Remember where we were at. Okay, thank you, Tom. Maureen?
Nothing.
Okay, any questions for Maureen? Okay, thank you. George?
No, no questions. It's all good. Nothing to report.
Oh, nothing to report?
Nope.
Oh, okay, thank you, George. Any questions for George? Well, we're going too quick. I guess I'm gonna have to slow this down. I do have a few things to report. I want to thank Ron and Public Works. I thought they did a good job with snow removal to the best of our ability, that what we can do. We don't have the heavy duty equipment, but after the last 2 winters and the snow we've got, you know, I've already been in contact with Tammy, and we're gonna get together and get a snow plan in place, because 2 years in a row now that we've had a pretty good snowstorm and snow abundance for a while. But Ron, I want to thank you for what you guys did on the Sunday night when the snow hit. I called Ron and Charlie out, and they came down and started shoveling about 5 o'clock and worked till about 9:30 that night on some of our main roads and the housing developments that have the major hills in them. So thank you for doing that, Ron.
You're welcome.
Had our Thurston County Mayor's meeting Friday. It was a nice meeting, as we have 3 new mayors, Yelm, Bakota, and Tumwater. So we got to introduce them. Time will tell. You know, in the past, I've made it, you know, very clear and how I've been happy with the mayors, that we've all had a pretty good working relationship. It was pretty good consistency over the last 3-4 years. Time will tell how these 3 new mayors fit in. I know I'm planning on specifically meeting with the new mayor from Yelm and the new mayor from Bakota, mayor of Tenino, Mayor Rainier, and myself would like to meet with those 2. And hopefully we can have a same good working relationship we had with the previous mayors. So we'll just see how that goes.
Matt,
Okay. Couple, we've got a little information from the audit. I'm kind of giving some information for Tammy right now. Looks like everything's going well with the audit. Tammy's happy. You know, she was pretty stressed about that. And the phone call we got yesterday was sounding pretty good. It's not done yet, but they requested some information the last couple of weeks, but so far things are looking good, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that it is a smooth sailing. And like I said, Tammy was in pretty good spirits today because of the news she was getting. I know the small houses are maybe George, what's the address, Ron? What's the address on the Tipsu house that we've talked about a lot? Or Ron Gibson, what is that address?
909A.
So 909A is the house that we have talked about numerous occasions. We get a lot of, you know, Tammy can't go more than a day without somebody questioning what they're doing. I'm sure everybody's been up there by now. There's 5 sheds. They all have wheelchair ramp accessibilities now. They're insulated. So today, LG, our building inspector, and Rainier, which is going to be our code enforcement officer, even though he's not under contract yet. We sent them up there today, and they came back and with some pictures, and they wanted some more pictures, and Tammy shared with them what she's been told for the last 3 months, that and what we have shared with staff and the council, that it, you know, it is a elderly woman that lives there. She is in a wheelchair, and all those sheds are for her because of where she moved from. So Tammy called and had the daughter open up all the facilities so LG and Rainey could go up and take pictures. So we have pictures, and they did a walkthrough, and all those sheds are exactly what they have been totally honest with Tammy. I'm reading Tammy's notes. One of them is a three of them are storage sheds. One is a storage shed for the mother, and one is the storage shed for the daughter. The reason they all have wheelchair ramps to them is so the mother can have access to all 5 of them. I know that may not be the answer that some of you were wanting to hear, but as Tammy shared with all of you at different times, there's nothing we can do. LG says that the setbacks are fine, and they're all under the legal size where they didn't have to have a building permit to work on them. So those are the 2 things he had to check off on, and they, you know, they satisfied the building permit size and the setbacks, and that's what we have. So we have pictures now, and we've actually had LG and our future code enforcement officer go up there and get to walk through them. Ron Gibson, did you hear anything more? I mean, I know you hear a lot from Tammy. Anything that you heard?
No, I that's exactly what I was told as well, was that what they found out today. So I believe they're doing what they said they were doing.
Yeah. I mean, any questions that
Yeah,
I
Bob.
can try to answer? Go ahead,
Yeah, just
George.
another concern about that spot is the mess their yard has been in since they moved into that house. It's cleaner now than it's been, but they have had trash, cars, U-Haul trucks all over their front yard. They've cut down trees and left them laying behind the sheds. It's just, you know, the sheds are bad enough, but if it was clean, it would be a lot better. That's, you know.
Okay, and that will be another question at another time when we get the code enforcement. I guess I'll finish the information on the code enforcement. At the last meeting, I said I had Mayor Fournier writing up a contract. He has yet to get that to us. We did speak, and he's having his attorney write it up. And as of today, I still haven't got a copy of what they're requesting. And at that point in time, I will share it with our attorney. But the code enforcement officer, who happens to live in locally, was willing to go up there because we're kind of moving on that it's going to occur. So he was willing to go up there because Tammy really wanted to get some answers for tonight's meeting. And so that's where we are in that. So once we get the code enforcement officer in place, you know, we'll have to decide where we're going to spend our time with that and what all we want to do within the whole entire community.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Dennis.
I want to voice an objection to the overemphasis that we're placing on this particular property. We have no laws or rules that prohibit people from parking vehicles in their front yard or U-Haul trucks or whatever. They've built those buildings within the guidelines of our regulations. And if we just don't like the way they keep their yard, I can list probably 8 or 9 properties in Mountain View Estates that are far worse that we just ignored. So if we're going to start telling people how to keep their yard up and how to clean it up, let's do them all, or let's shut up and move on.
Anybody else have a comment?
You know, I think there has to be, I think trash is unacceptable, even if it's in the mayor's yard. I mean, it's just unacceptable in the yard, blowing on the street. Dennis, and I think if you had somebody up on your end of the loop that was like that, you might, not be too happy yourself.
I do, and I'm not too happy about it. But I think if we're gonna start targeting facilities, we sure ought to take a hard look at one of our former local government members before we point a finger at anybody else.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna stop the conversation there. We'll revisit it. I do want you guys to think about this because the last time we talked about the code enforcement officer, and when you guys gave me authority to proceed with hiring one, my memory is that we wanted to hire the code enforcement officer and we were going to start out using the complaint-based process. And I think all of you were on the same page there, that we weren't just going to hire a code enforcement officer and just go and start checking every properties in town. We did that 3, 4, 5 years ago. I don't know, Mr. Cameron, Mr. Kemp, you could help me here, but we spent a lot of money when Ron was our building code enforcement officer. Mr. Cameron was in the town, and we spent a lot of money having them go around and take pictures, and we made it an emphasis. I thought you guys told me a month ago when we were hiring the code enforcement officer that that was not what we wanted to do this time around. I may be wrong, so I just ask that before our next meeting, I hope at our next meeting, we have a code enforcement officer in place. But I'd like all of you to just drive around the community. But I want you to make a decision, because I'm going to want direction from the council as in what we're going to do. It's either going to be,
Great.
we're going to clean up the community, then we're going to be spending money, and we're going to have fights, and we're going to have legal issues like Ron and Bill. We had that in the past. True.
Yep, you bet.
And Mr. Cameron, you be prepared to give some insight at the next meeting too, because you were involved in this the last time we made this as an emphasis. But I ask that everybody be prepared to do that and decide if we're going to do a major overhaul or if we're going to do the, complaint driven ones, which right now, the address that we were talking about tonight was a complaint driven, and Tammy dealt with it. So Ron, I saw your hand up.
Yeah, just one quick one, Bob. I thought when we had this original discussion on the code enforcement officer, it's strictly going to be complaint driven. If Dennis has a problem in his neighborhood, Dennis should say something. If George has a problem in his neighborhood, he should say something. Anybody in the town has a complaint, they should say something. But I am against us going around again and looking at every residence and finding out which ones are bad, which ones aren't. That costs us too much money, took too much time.
Agreed.
I don't think that's what we thought we were saying at the meeting where we decided we needed a code enforcement officer.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
totally agree with you.
Agreed.
Because I thought that was the decision that was made, but I'm putting a halt to our argument going on tonight. So we're going to deal with it at the next meeting, and it will be over and done with at our February meeting.
Good.
I agree with Ron, and I don't think tonight's discussion was an argument. I was just pointing out that there's plenty of places that need improvement, and before we start throwing rocks at people, we ought to think seriously about what we're doing.
Please, everybody, decide what you want to do, and it will be on the agenda at the February meeting. So those are the things on my report. Any questions for me? Oh, I get John Hinton is still working for us a little bit. He has not quite been able to retire. because there's so much work. So him and I talked today. He was supposed to get back with Thurston County. He had some issues here the last month. So he was supposed to get a hold of Thurston County and proceed through on our pickleball tennis courts that he told us he would get done before he retired. So I'm waiting to get a feedback of where we are on all that, but he was going to do that today. And that's all I have. So we'll go to unfinished business. Oh, Mr. Gibson.
Yes, sir. I did just want to add on your behalf, I want to commend you, Mayor, because during this flood event, the snow event, everything, we talked a lot. You were in constant contact with me. I appreciate that. The direction was there. You let me run the departments, and I commend you for that, sir. I thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Okay, any unfinished business? Any new business? Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
Okay, we got George first, and we'll give that to Ron. We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, meeting adjourned officially at 7:29 PM. Our next meeting will be the second Tuesday of February, and we will plan on Zoom at this point in time. And it's like Lieutenant said, you know, COVID is out there. Take care of yourselves and be healthy. And we'll see you guys all around. Thank you.
Just one quick comment before we go. I want to say welcome to our newest member. Glad to see you.
Thank you.
Do you have anything you want to say, Maureen?
Nope, good to be here.
Okay. Okay,
Good night,
thank
all.
you, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.